On this week's Political Figure episode, we found the only virgin from Vermont who found a woman sad, pathetic, disgusting, and desperate enough to marry him, Vermont State Senator Samuel Douglas. You may recognize Incel Sam from a recent group chat leak that's got some young Republicans in some hot water. He was the fat one. No, not that fat one. The other, not that fat one either. The fat one with the neck beard. Not the other fat one with the neck beard. That one. That fat one with the neck beard. Incel Sam was born in Newport, Vermont in 1998, making him basically a middle schooler, according to J.D. Vance. His parents are Richard and Kathleen Douglas, which makes total sense that his dad is a dick. He graduated from North Country Union High School and then went to Johnson State College, where he got a Bachelor's of Art. And what? Who the fuck knows? He apparently doesn't, because he didn't put it in his own biography. Well, in college, he said he worked concurrently in mental health services, food services, and hospitality, which I can only assume means he was the lunch lady at the mental hospital he was involuntarily checked into. Because that man is a fucking psychopath. For work, he organically fucked farms, goats, and chickens and sells shit on eBay, which if that doesn't check out for this guy. And also for a little while, since I assume it's hard to make a living on already fucked chickens, he decided to go be the lister or tax assessor for his county. You know, the asshole who comes out, trespasses on your property, and then goes back to the county and tells them that your property's worth 3 times more than any reasonable human would pay for it and that they should tax you more than your mortgage. It's the kind of job losers do when they want to make other people's lives miserable, but they can't join ICE because they're so fat and nerdy that even their extreme racism won't keep them from getting bullied by those losers. At some point, Sammy got lonely because, you know, he's awful. So he cloned himself and he put a wig on the clone and he named it Brianna, and they got married. Now that he was more electable because he had his clone wife, he decided he'd start getting more into politics. So he became chair of the Young Republicans of Vermont and also chair of the Republican Committee in New Orleans. Why New Orleans? I have no idea. As soon as he assimilated into the Vermont clan Young Republicans, he decided to run for state senate in 2022, and he lost because he's a loser. But just like when he talks to women, he won't take no for an answer. So when the guy he lost to retired, he ran again and won. So when he got to office in January, they put him on the Senate's sexual harassment prevention panel. The dude was in a group chat with the clone of himself he's married to that he swears is a human woman, and a bunch of other little incels, where they were joking about how epic rape is. Well, he sat on a sexual harassment prevention panel. Like, I don't know if you know this, but there's lots of forms of sexual harassment. However, universally, rape is the worst. And if you feel like that is epic, I feel like preventing sexual harassment isn't really a high priority for you. And of course, this guy is a useless, incompetent piece of shit who's been in office less than a year, so he's done nothing in legislation worth talking about. And I actually haven't looked into his proposed legislation or policy platforms, but I can tell you they are all fucking terrible with absolute certainty. And I know that because if you love Hitler and rape and want to put your political opponents in gas chambers, but not gas chambers, you need to fix the showers to make the gas come out of them for the Hitler aesthetic. You use all kinds of racial slurs and anti-Semitic slurs and slurs I never even knew existed. There's nothing about you or that trash that decided to live in the same house with you willingly, who was also in those group chats saying vile, hateful, anti-Semitic shit, that has any value whatsoever, including any policy platform you have ever conceived. Now, another person might come up with the exact same policy, and it could be an absolutely brilliant one, life-changing, world-changing, but from this person, it's fucking worthless because they are worthless. And I get it, other racist, fat, Nazi, neckbeard guy. He's young, the infantile age of 27. He's barely an elected state senator. He's got his whole life ahead of him, which is probably only another 20 to 30 years judging by his diet and exercise. That's if he's lucky, because, you know, he may have upset a few people. But the real problem with people like him is it doesn't matter that they're just barely middle-aged. It's just that these people can't help it. They just poison the blood of our country. They're not really truly human, you know? They're money-grubbing demons who secretly control the country. Well, not secretly. They very openly and very racistly control the country. But my point is that they are irredeemably evil and worthless, regardless of if they're only the baby-faced age of 27. You see, the institutions that allow these people to exist within them are also irredeemably evil and worthless. And if you support the organizations still that allow these people, then you have become irredeemably worthless as well. Because guys, if you let this fucker in, that's the bottom layer of the shit sheet cake, and it only gets worse from there, because this chuckle fuck is the easiest person in the world to bully. You could have bullied him out of your party ages ago, but you didn't, and you haven't bullied any of those other fuckers out either. And you know why you didn't? Because you only chose to join the party because you're just like them. And if you weren't, you would have left by now.